Welcome to Made in Ely, where we chat to local business owners about what they're building and how they're doing it. Recorded here at Ely Work Collective. So today's guest is Gemma from eMotion Fit. Welcome, Gemma.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
So we just thought we'd kick off first of all with so tell us, for people that don't know you, tell us who you are, where you are, and what you do.
Hi, so I'm Gemma, and as you mentioned, my business name is eMotion Fit. I live in a lovely little village outside Ely called Whitchford. I am here mostly to talk about my breathwork today, but I'm also a personal trainer. I run networking events. I do group PT classes, all sorts of habit coaching, loads of little bits. But yeah, generally it's all about being physically and emotionally well and fit.
Amazing.
Fantastic. And you kind of your background, you said there, is kind of more corporate side of things, kind of coaching and personal training and things. What led you into the breathwork side of things and made you want to do that as your big thing?
Where do I start? So
Start from the beginning.
Okay. Right, starting from the beginning. I worked in corporate for 12 years for a huge company. I was down in Cornwall. Part of that role was, my title was a technical coach, as alongside quality assurance. So it all sounds very boring, working in financing and quality assurance. But I actually loved the coaching side of things. During that time, I'd joined and quit many a gym over the years. And there was a lovely little gym that opened up, little family-run business. And, you're meant to go to the gym, so I'll join another one and see how it goes. And I was up in the safe zone, the cardio bit, because I know how to press start on a treadmill. And I just felt really uncomfortable because actually there were people around me that were just gossiping, and it didn't feel like my kind of vibe. So I thought, right, I'm done. I'm quitting another gym. And on my way out, I accidentally stumbled down the wrong set of stairs.
Ooh.
So it was 2 units that were
Right.
joined, and I walked through a door and down the wrong set of stairs and straight into the free weights room with all the big scary guys who weren't at all scary. No. They were actually so friendly. I must have looked like I'd walked into a brick wall or was terrified of something because they all went, "Are you okay?
Oh.
And they just invited me in, asked if they wanted me to, do you want to try anything? And I was too scared to say no. So I did. And I thought, that was actually really nice. They were really friendly. And that was the start of my fitness journey. So I worked in finance, and then I would finish at 8 o'clock at night. I'd get down the gym at 15:15 and have 45 minutes to train.
Oh, wow.
So when redundancy hit, I needed something new. I needed a change. I'd been in an office for a long time, but I had no idea what to do. And to the rest of the world, it's really obvious. Your hobby is the gym, you're loving it, and you coach people. So how about become a PT? And people kept mentioning it. And at first, you just brush it off. That's not for me.
Yeah.
You brush off these ideas. And at some point, after so many people saying it, it just clicked. So I came back to Cambridge to do my training. So I did that here in Cambridge, but then went back down to Cornwall to actually become a personal trainer. Breathwork was not on the scene at this point. So I've been a PT for 10 years now. It was my 10-year anniversary a little while ago.
Wow.
Last
Congratulations.
month.
Oh,
I don't know where we are.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That's
decade. And the breathwork, I completely stumbled across. You've probably both heard this story before. I thought it was really woo-woo, if I'm perfectly honest. I just thought it was a load of tosh. And just it wasn't my sort of thing. Yeah. But with the PT, it was a really natural, organic kind of route into helping people with their emotions, as opposed to people wouldn't approach me and say, I want to step on stage or I want to do this huge fitness event or something. It was more people would come to me because I was safe, I wasn't scary, and it was more to do with building their self-esteem and their confidence. So I started working a lot with people that have anxiety and this, that and the other. I went down the route of counselling skills training, mental health first aid, and I was invited to go along to an event on anxiety. Yep, of course I will. It was, they needed numbers up. It was, I was doing someone a favour. It turns out they did me a really huge favour. So during the session, part of it was breath work. I didn't know that was going to happen. I'd just been told to take a mat. And I thought, oh, God, here we go.
What have I walked into?
What have I, honestly, what have I walked into? And I thought, well, I'm not going to be rude. Obviously, I'll join in. And she wasn't a breathwork facilitator. She just played a Wim Hof, Iceman, Wim Hof.
Yeah. I was going to say, I was like, the name. I was like, where do I know that
from? Yes.
Yeah.
That programme's great.
Yeah.
Played a little I don't know how long it was. It might have only been 10, 15 minutes of this Wim Hof. She literally played it off her mobile phone. And I joined in with this breathing. And I think most people, so many people relate to this when I say it. My mind goes at 100 miles an hour all day, every day. It's really hard to switch off. Yeah. It would jump from one thing to another. Yeah. And for the first time in my adult life, my brain went quiet.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I remember coming out thinking, what sort of sorcery was that? Or did she drug me or something? It was bizarre. Wow. But in a really nice, not scary way.
Yeah.
And that was it. I need to know more. Like, what is this breathwork malarkey?
Yeah.
And that was the start of my breathwork journey. I needed to know more.
Because like you said there, I think I can't imagine many adults, unless you're doing breathwork or you're doing a version of something like that, have probably ever experienced that kind of quietness, that sort of still from the day-to-day craziness and everything you've got going on in your mind.
And I think people are often almost scared of the silences because that's when the thoughts and the doubts creep in. So you stay busy because, you know, you can't be seen as somebody that rests. You must always be busy. Yeah. Must always be productive. Yeah. The pressures are on. You can't possibly take 5 minutes out because someone might think I'm lazy. Yeah. Oh, I'm going deep now.
Yeah.
No, but it's true, though, especially with this new kind of grind culture that's become really popular over the last 10 years. Yeah. Everyone, like you said, feels that pressure that if they haven't got something going on top of everything else going on, they're failing or they're not doing the best they can, because it's so, especially with like social media and things like that, it's so heavily publicized that we should all be doing more and we should all be working 25 hours a day and getting, you know, no sleep because that's how you make money and become successful.
Absolutely,
and all this stuff. And it's become really kind of toxic and dangerous because
Very
people
dangerous,
do just think that's, if I'm not, they then feel like they're not succeeding and they are failing. They're letting their families down and, you know, their friends and things. And then people get desperate. And that's when, you know, it all goes awfully downhill, basically, doesn't it?
Very much so, yeah. I mean, you've just touched upon the whole conversation that we have, and particularly, I think, men's mental health as well, where it's for both men and women, absolutely, but there's still this stigma that men must provide and men must be successful. And it's a lot. On top of everything else that we deal with, those pressures are insane. They're too big. It's too much for anybody to carry. And I think that's, you know, we are in a pandemic of mental health concerns, and it's crazy. Yeah. But that's why.
No, 100%. But that's why I say your breath. I mean, from a personal experience, like obviously I've attended a couple of your sessions now, and I had no idea what I was getting into at the start. Didn't know anything about breath work. Kind of saw your adverts for the one in the woods and was like, well, that could be something really good for me. I've been through CBT in the past and other forms of therapy as well for various kind of historical reasons, and I just thought it'd be something to try. And also, fortunately, I lived in Wilburn at the time, so it's down the road. But then going to that and experiencing it for the first time was unreal. It was such a weird experience, but it definitely made things kind of the days afterwards were a lot better, a lot clearer, which is why then we booked on to more and doing more. But it is definitely like, you know, the last time I came to your session where we had the Andy's. No, the men that walk.
Oh, men walking, talking. Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
The good idea. No.
Yeah, and
we'll plug him, James Clements.
Yes, and to see that many men in one place doing
amazing.
that voluntarily as well. Let's face it. Was really quite special, and also like hearing the feedback from those men as well. There are a lot of people there that were kind of the generation and the mindset of this is not the kind of thing you do. You just stiff upper lip and all that kind of stuff. And I think it's working. It is changing people's views and perceptions and getting more older people, especially, more open to these kind of treatments. But it's still a long way to go, isn't it?
It's a long way to go because it's not only changing the sort of stigma out there; it's in your own mind. It's the conversations we have with ourselves in our own mind when we do have those quiet moments. They are filled with all of that chatter of down talk. You know, we should be kinder to ourselves every day. Every day. But that was an incredible session. It was a powerful one. Yeah. In fact, I think they always are, but that's what I love about breathwork. It really can be life-changing for people. And as you mentioned there, the therapy side of things, I would never knock therapy. And everyone is different. You know, we're all different. And
I was going to say,
breathwork isn't going to be for everyone. I would love for everyone to try it, because you don't know until you've tried it. It really is one of those difficult things to describe until you've experienced it. But with lots of talk therapies, there's only so far you can go, because there aren't words. Words don't exist that can describe a feeling. And therefore, with the breath work, you don't need words. You can just allow yourself to feel it when you potentially couldn't at the time. So whatever's happened in your past or in your life or in your business or whatever it might be, there'll be times where you've not allowed yourself to feel it because it's not the right time. You must stay busy, or you don't feel safe to say what you want to say, or be who you are, or whatever it might be. You hold it down. So it's trying to then talk through that, repeat it over and over again doesn't necessarily change it. It's just, for me, a lot of talk therapies will just solidify the problem and almost make it worse.
What do I do now?
It doesn't help me process it. And that's what I love about the breath work. It helps you sort of think through, work through things. And you mentioned the word clarity there. That's, people will come away lighter and generally clearer, which is amazing.
Do you find through that as well that a lot of people are holding on to things that they probably didn't even realise? So they come to a breathwork session and they're like, oh my goodness, I had no idea I was like that. Yeah, I can imagine.
Well, that's the thing. So my first experience was just the quiet mind. I didn't have anything emotional in that first experience. It was a really short snippet. So what gripped me first was the quiet and the calm, just the sort of peace. I've never been one to be able to just sit and meditate, just switch your brain off. How? How do I do that? Breathwork, that's how. But after that, when I started looking into it, I thought, I'm not breathwork. You know, I don't have the nice, soft, floaty voice and the soft, floaty outfits. And I just don't, I'm not that nice Zen person that does breathwork.
Again,
right?
another putting that own perception on yourself, isn't it?
Absolutely. So I can't do breathwork. And then obviously everyone's listening. The phones are listening. My phone then showed me on social media a guy that I went on to train with called Josh Connolly. He's a proper Swindonian lad, plays football. He's got tattoos all over him. He swears like a trooper. He does breathwork. What? Really? I thought, okay, maybe breathwork isn't just floaty linen. Yeah. No offence.
No, we know what you mean.
I do actually really
like enjoy
love
linen.
that as well. But it made me think maybe breathwork isn't just this one image that I've given it, and actually a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And that's when I started discovering the emotional side of it. So like breathwork for emotional release is how he sort of titles his, and that's how I title mine because I trained with him. Yeah. And my word, the stuff I've discovered about myself and my childhood and my teenage years and why I am like I am, it's been a hell of a journey, hell of a ride, and sometimes really difficult. And that's potentially why breathwork's quite a hard sell, because why do we want to dig up all this old stuff? But actually, because once you have dug it up, you can then go and place it somewhere, place it down and leave it there rather than like constantly having it with you. And it's made me take more action or different action or inaction. Like it just made me change my decisions in various areas of life in a really positive way. So
I think sometimes as well, it's just about being aware of those things, even if you're not maybe that at that time you're not ready to do something about that, or you're not ready to kind of say deal with it is the wrong word, but you're just more aware of those things that are kind of maybe leading you down a certain road, like you say, or make certain decisions. You're then more informed about it, aren't you? Yeah,
awareness is key with everything. I talk about this from the breathwork point of view, fitness point of view, health point of view. Like unless you're aware of something, you can't change it.
No, exactly.
And habits are things that we do automatically. That's what a habit is, something you do without thinking about it. And we live our lives like that. And if there are changes you want to make, you've got to be aware of the situation. In general, with breath work, it's not going to bring up a load of stuff that you don't want to. I know you just said don't use the words deal with, but yeah, deal with. It kind of only gives you the experience that you're ready for. So if you have got, like I've tried doing breath work when I'm stress dive and I go, oh yeah, I really need to let go of that particular thing. And it doesn't work like that. And it's also not going to suddenly dig up some childhood dramatic experience because I haven't got the space or capacity to deal with that right now. So it just doesn't do that unless you're really pushed, in which case that's where the safety side of things comes in with breath work. And it's really important to make sure you do it with someone you feel comfortable and safe with.
Yeah, it kind of brings on to my experience with it, kind of doing it going through you, was the first time was very, the 3 times I've been, they've been very different experiences and they've all been very relevant to what's going on in my life there and then.
Yeah.
But the first one, because it was a whole new experience, was a lot more kind of historical things. And what I find fascinating is that when you're in a kind of conventional sit-down therapy, I'd say kind of conversational therapy, some of us, looking at myself here, are very good at changing the question. If I don't want to answer it, I won't. And I will find a way of steering the conversation away from that.
Think they want you to.
Yeah, or just being like, I don't want to talk about this. How can I change it? And things like that. Whereas with where you've done your breath work is that you can't get away from it, but also it's not like in a scary kind of way. Like it's weird. It's very hard to explain.
It's very hard to explain. Yeah.
but yeah, like I can't try and change the question. I can't change the answer because I'm in my own head now. I'm not talking to somebody else. It's just exactly what's going on there and then is what's happening and that's it. And I find with other forms of therapy I tried over the years, they're more of a plaster over the top of the problem. They're a coping mechanism as opposed to a way of fixing it. It's how can I get over this problem so I can then crack on with what I'm doing. Whereas this has definitely helped me process things. But on the later events I've been to, it's been a lot more like what's going on in my week or that month. And obviously, when we first started setting up here, things were very stressful. There was a lot going on, a lot of moving parts, a lot of setbacks, as we explained to you before. And then when I came to you after we'd been open, it was a completely different experience. And like you said, it was that quiet instead. So when the music stopped and you let us all kind of lay there for a bit and think about things, it was just like, this is the first time my head's been quiet for God knows how long. And the feeling was amazing. I could have stayed there for hours, I think, if I didn't have, unfortunately, stuff to do. But that's what I think is so special about it. And why I think everyone, like you said, everyone should try it at least once. If it's not for them, it's not for everybody.
Yeah,
there is no one cure or one solution for everybody anyway. We know that.
Well, if there was.
But it's definitely worth looking at, I think.
Yeah, definitely. But what you've just explained there is actually a really good way of putting it. We put a plaster over things, whereas the breathwork kind of just peels that plaster back very gently and allows that wound to heal. I mean, I don't want to go into cheesy, fashionable healing terminology. It just makes me cringe, but it is. We've all got stuff. We've all got things that we've been hurt from throughout our lives. I am discovering that more and more. The more I do the breath work, like everyone I meet has got something that's been really hard. Barely anyone's just walking around light as a feather with no stresses in this world,
100%.
Yeah.
But you also said about you're in your head, you're in your own head. But what's nice about the breath work is, so our health is one big thing. We talk about mental health and physical health, but they are completely and utterly intertwined. They're not two separate things. And we hold so much of that emotion in our body. So emotions are energy in motion. But when we don't allow ourselves to process it, it gets a bit stuck because we haven't taken the action for it to move. I mean, if you watch a child that intuitively knows how to deal with their emotions, right? You see kids stomping and screaming and crying and hands are out, arms are flying, stomping on the ground, lying on the ground, stomping their feet and arms. Then 5 minutes later, absolutely fine. You're like, what on earth just happened there? They're absolutely fine now. Yes, because they've just processed it.
They've
they let it
expelled
go.
that energy type thing.
Yeah. They let that move. They dealt with it. It's gone. They're over it. But we don't allow ourselves to do that because if we were all in Tesco's laying on the floor stomping around, would probably be.
I mean, there were a few days early on, I think, when we were in this office. There was definitely a particular day when we opened the doors to here before we were open to the public and the walls were the wrong colour, where I definitely got very close to rolling on the floor and having a bit of a tantrum.
Not just my would let it out because I'd have painted the wrong colour. Just putting that out there.
No. I turns out I'm not very good with a paintbrush.
No.
I feel like in the middle of domestic.
I know, it did sound a little bit like that, though, didn't it? No, I was like, Anyway, not for another time, not for this podcast.
I'm going to go
That's for our decorating
study the
podcast.
walls in a minute.
Yeah. So diving a bit more into breathwork. So someone that's listening to this and maybe kind of go, okay, I like the sound of that. I guess what can they expect? What's a session like? What's
the session like? Okay, so I will explain everything at the beginning of the session. So we get everybody in, you just sit down, talk you through it. So it's not, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I'll talk you through it. I explain everything at the beginning of the session, how it's going to go. Yeah. And in general, there's 3 sections to the breathing pattern. So I'll teach you the breathing pattern. It's really simple. And then we have awesome music.
You do.
It is
yes.
good. I also like how you mix it up each time.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan
So
of
it's
that.
not, you get...
Oh, I spend hours.
Yeah.
Hours and hours on playlists. If I'm not listening to your podcast.
Oh,
my God,
wow,
I'm
nice
listening to
plug there,
Breathwork.
Shameless plug-in here.
That was
Thank
also,
you.
but
Thank
genuinely
you.
I do. Yes, so the music is not necessarily what you would expect. I like to use quite sort of beaty music.
Yeah.
What genre is
I mean, I
that?
feel like
one
it's
you
very-
play?
I like that.
It's almost like kind of
Beaty
chill
music.
dance, but bassy and things.
Yeah, so there's a few like house tunes in there, and I would not have expected myself to be.
Yeah, so
able to
it definitely
sling
wasn't
out.
what I was expecting. I was kind of waiting for wind chimes and
Yeah, no.
whale song and these kind of things. Like, I quite like this actually.
Yeah.
Go for a walk with this
No,
on.
I've never used whales.
Yet,
But that is
yet.
what people expect. Yet.
Yeah.
You wait. Maybe I'll put it into the next men's one, just for a laugh. So the music is definitely not what most people expect. I try to mix it up. It's very important to get the music right because that can take you on a journey itself. So I love music. I love movement. I love the outdoors. I love all these things and combining. Not like I do breathwork in the forest every time, just for people listening. I have other locations. It's really important to get the music right. And that sort of takes you on a journey as well. So 3 rounds of breathing. There are some retentions. Shall I give it away? Shall I give it away? Shall I keep
The big
people-
end.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
No,
It's quite a nice surprise.
I feel like people just need to come and experience it because it
Okay.
was. Although saying that is the one thing that I'd probably tell people the most about because genuinely, hands down, is the best.
If anyone's listening, they're going to
it's
wonder
a
what on earth we're talking
Yeah, I
about.
know.
It's really
So
funny. If someone brings a
cathartic
friend or a
at the
family
end.
member, I go, have they told you this bit? No. No.
What's going to happen? No,
Yeah.
in a good way. Anyone
It's a-
listening, it's a good.
It's a wonderful part. It's my favourite part of the session.
Yeah.
My favourite part of the session.
Oh,
So
go on,
it's
Gemma.
a-
Actually, share
Yeah,
it
go for
if
it.
you're happy to. Do you want to share it?
I don't know.
Oh, we built it up to be really.
No, we have.
gonna say.
Okay, I'm going to say it. We scream.
Yes.
But it's so... should I have said that? It's too late now.
No. So to be fair, this is why
Edit
I was
the podcast.
I could put a beat.
Yeah.
I was literally talking to someone about it the other day, and I was describing that part, and I said when I told them, you sort of feel like you have to go, oh, but it's okay.
Yes, yeah.
Weirdly, I don't know why. And then they were,
But for the same reason you wouldn't lay down in Tesco's stomping your feet.
Exactly.
It's seen as a...
Yeah.
What, you're losing your marbles?
Exactly.
No, actually, how many times in your life do you go, oh, I'm so frustrated, I could scream? Well, actually, you can.
Knock yourself out. Yeah.
And it feels... I'll try not to swear. You might have to
Yeah.
bleep me out. Blooming amazing. I'll go with blooming. Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels really, really good.
Yeah. And the thing that I loved about when you do it as well is you kind of set it up as in like, I'll start. Like you're like, don't worry. You're not that fear factor of like, am I going to be the only one that
Never
does
going
it?
to be on your own.
And that's lovely because then it just gives you that permission to go crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. In
Yeah.
every session, we have a mix of, well, we do now, I've been doing it for a while. We have a mix of people that have been many a time before and newbies. There's always a nice mix of regular breathers and regular breathers.
I believe they're called the living.
Yeah. The living and the zombies that attend. It's always a nice mix, but I will always do the scream with people. And if you don't want to do it, you don't do it. And no one would know.
No.
And you don't know who has and who hasn't. Like the people next to you, you wouldn't generally know because you just hear your own scream and then this sort of blanket noise in the background.
Yeah,
Is that right?
I
'Cause
was
you've
going to
both done
say,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
you hear kind of noises around you, but you're so there in your own kind of moment that I have no idea what's going on around me.
No.
There
Yeah.
could be a gunfight going off in that forest and I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah.
I'd let you know if
Until
there
you've
were. You know? I'd probably stop the music and bring you around and
But
get you to safety.
Yeah, but I almost kind of forget where I am at that point. Like
Yeah,
I don't know I'm in a circle in a woodland area at this point. I could be literally anywhere by myself. It's
Yeah, but
and that's what's great about it.
That's the magic of it, isn't it? And
And
actually, it sounds strange because people go, "Oh, I don't think I want to do that around other people."
Yeah.
You know, well, actually, that really helps.
Absolutely.
And you don't feel like you're on your own, but you don't feel like you're in a group. It's this nice sort of supportive. Okay, I'm not on my own,
Yeah.
but I am on my own. Like I don't know how to
Yeah.
describe.
Oh,
No, I know what you
no.
mean. Yeah, definitely.
I think also as well, you touched on it a little bit earlier on about saying the trainer, the person that's running that session that's really important,
Yeah.
as in you have a connection with them. And I think that's what you're very good at from my experience of doing the session, is that there's a real kind of sense of safety in that in the session. That, you know, you come in and you're so welcoming, you talk everyone through it, and you're even down to sort of you know, if your emotions come out in the session and someone's crying, you know, you check with people, are you okay for me to kind of check on you throughout the session? And you sort of, I don't know, you really feel like you're looked after in that session. And I think that's such an important thing as a trainer, you know, to create that sort of space for people.
And I think that's where the training that I've done with Josh Connolly and the community that I'm part of, it's absolutely incredible. So I did a training prior to that and started facilitating. But a lot of these courses don't cover the real life, what's going to happen in a scenario. They teach you all about your chakras, they're all about the science behind it and this, that and the other, but they don't actually teach you, well, some of them do, depends where you go, how to manage a specific session and things to do. Like, I will always check with people if they're happy for me to touch them on the shoulders, but also you might not want to admit that in front of people. So eyes closed, anyone that doesn't want me to touch you on the shoulders, I won't touch you anywhere else, just on the shoulder if I feel you need some support. Sometimes it might just be if someone's emotional, let them go. And even if they lose the pattern of the breath a little bit, sometimes it's just those tears want to flow. Or it might be laughter. Were you both at the one at Willow Grange with the huge laugh? I don't know if you were.
Yeah.
That was hilarious. Yeah, so emotions come out in all sorts of ways,
Yeah.
not just screaming or crying, but laughter. That was a brilliant one. I've never had that since, but that was good.
Yeah, no, I think like you say, so yeah, it's just important to have that, and not every coach is like that, and not every, you know, is equipped to be able to create that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you can't get on with everybody. So breath work might be for someone, but I might not. Somebody that wants the calm, floaty voice isn't going to like my breath work. They're not going to like that I shout at you and I've got banging music, you know. I mean, I don't shout in a bad way.
I know, I was going to say.
But when I've got the music loud so that you're really escaping from your everyday, you need to hear me over it. So I do. It builds, doesn't it? The breathwork builds, and it's part of the experience. But if that's not for you, it's not for you. You might want someone that speaks quietly and softly throughout. That wouldn't work for me personally. I would probably feel quite uncomfortable, like, oh gosh, they're going to judge me because I'm too loud and I'm too much, and that would make me feel uncomfortable, not safe. So different facilitators are going to be for different people. And that's, you know, that's important that there are different versions of this out there, because I'm not going to be for everyone. But there might be a different person that teaches a very similar breath work in a different, you know, with a different personality, and that's what's going to work for them. But hopefully what I always want to do is be able to reach, because I was the kind of person that I wouldn't have gone to breath work. There's no way I would have gone to breath work if I hadn't absolutely stumbled across it. I might have done if a friend had like gone on about how amazing it is and will you come with me? Like eventually I might have tried it at some point. But it's not the kind of thing I would have signed up to. So for those people that do then get dragged along, because it's very much a word of mouth. So someone listening to this is probably still going, what on earth are they banging on about? This breathwork stuff sounds bonkers. It's making these people that don't already feel like they're spiritual or want to be on a healing journey. And again, it's all the terminology that makes me go, ooh. That puts me off. And it's, but so yeah, it's trying to make us everyday folk that wouldn't normally do breath work try it, because it can really help pretty much anybody.
Very similar to you. It's not the kind of thing I would sign up for in general. Like I've seen you advertise, obviously couple of other events at the Pole Shed and places like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I've always been like, oh, it's interesting, but it's not for me.
Yeah,
And
you don't click the book now.
No, that's it. And full kind of disclosure, the main reason that it appealed to me personally was the two factors. The fact that it was men only.
Yeah.
So for a lot of men, it can be quite daunting to go to something like that because,
Definitely.
unfortunately, the harsh reality is there's not many men opt to go to these things unless they're told, like you said, with the walking club and things, unless they're kind of someone's already experiencing the word of mouth side of things. But I just went on that side because it was men only. That appealed to me straight away.
Yeah.
And then the other bit was the fact it was in the woods.
Yes.
I love
yeah.
being in the woods because I'm a child. But yeah, that really sold it to me. And I had no idea what to do or what to expect or anything else. And I thought, well, and even I think before I went, I was talking to you, wasn't I? And I was like, oh, I don't ever want to go anymore. I might cancel. I might see if I can do something.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I didn't. And that's why I've come back twice and I'm coming again in a couple of weeks or months, whatever it is. We'll push that.
Couple of weeks.
Yeah, a couple of weeks.
Couple of weeks.
But yeah, I think it is, like you said, for a lot of people, it's because it's the unknown.
Yes.
And
Terrifying.
it
The
can be
unknown is
seen
scary,
as
isn't
another just another wishy-washy treatment, that something else that people are trying to scam you out of money or something like that.
Yeah.
But it really isn't. But again, it might not be for them. But I think the best way to have that judgment is to try it.
And
see.
And that's kind of made me go, I am right in doing that. You know, men's mental health is really important for me. I won't go deep into that, otherwise I will be crying on the podcast all day. But losing a close family member to suicide has made me, and then I discovered breathwork. Like, was sort of as early days, and I'm like, oh man, if only I knew this a bit sooner. But that's the kind of thing I do a lot in his honour, and to try and try and help someone not have to go through what the family are now going through.
Yeah.
And what he went through, you know, I can't even begin to understand what he might have gone through before making that decision. And I think if I can help anyone improve their day, improve their week, improve their month, improve their year, improve their life, and hopefully make a change there, that's oof, gonna go. That's why I do the men's side. And the feedback has been incredible. And the last one, actually the one that you were at last, we had a friend of his, people that knew him, people that have met his family, and it was a personal one actually, and it was really nice to know it's making a direct impact.
It was
lovely.
It was amazing to see so many men there as well.
Yes, yeah.
But on the kind of the flip side to that, now I've been and I know what to expect. It has been good going to the mixed one, like the one at Willow Grange and things like that as well, because it is actually you're not kind of self-conscious. I think my biggest worry was being self-conscious.
Yes.
And like, how am I going to be around other people and all this stuff? Well, at least if it's other men, we're all blokey, we can all get away with it together, kind of thing. But it's not like that at all. So doing that one, and I think because of that, it's good. It's a good start, but it's a good way to get more men to get involved in the mixed ones as well. It's not just about being in the woods and doing it like that. You can do it this way too.
Yeah, absolutely. But isn't that the same with, like, that's a big thing. You've made a decision that I would only ever do it in a forest, and I'd only ever do it with men. Like, there's no way I'm going to click on a button. And then you've had one experience and gone, actually, I am now feel more confident in myself to be able to go along to a mixed event. Yeah. Like, that's, even that in itself is like, wow, that's pretty cool actually. It's giving you the confidence to do something that previously you wouldn't have done.
100%.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So taking it a little bit away from breathwork, we're going to come back to it in a minute.
one emotional roller coaster to another.
I know, absolutely. Lovely segue, James. That was very nice. So thinking about Gemma from the business side of elements, because again, different folks are obviously listening to this for different reasons, but thinking about kind of for folks that are maybe running their own business or thinking about doing that, obviously that sort of being in business for 10 years, amazing. I'm sure had his own journey, in itself. Any particular points that stand out to you along the way, and sort of how you've overcome them?
Oh, in business, crumbs. From when I first started, the world has gone very tech.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I know that sat feeling with headphones on, speaking into a microphone, and it's gone very tech, hasn't it? Yeah. So for me, a lot of it has been, I'm a person. I'm a people person. I like to be around people. I like to be in community. So to suddenly have to put myself out there on social media, maybe not have to, but it's a very big way of marketing these days and getting the word out there. That's been a huge ride for me from a business point of view. having to learn how to build a website and where to start and going around in circles. I mean, I need a website. Okay, so I need a website so that people can buy tickets. But to build a website, I need photos. So I need to be able to put real things on there because I don't want to use, I want to be real, I want to be authentic, so I want photos. So to have photos, I need an event. So for an event, I need somewhere to sell my tickets. So to sell my tickets, I need a website. Right, okay. Where do I start? And that's been a real challenge for me, like learning how to find a gap and get into that circle.
It's so difficult finding the right path as well. We talked about this on a previous podcast with regards to kind of marketing small businesses, because it's everyone tells you you've got to be present on social media, you've got to have a strong social media thing and all this kind of stuff, but that's only relevant if it works for where you are. Because obviously, like us, you don't have a product. It's not like people can go on your website and buy it, have it sent out to them wherever they are in the world. Exactly. So you could have 50,000 followers on Instagram, for instance.
None of them local.
If none of them are local, they're no use to you. So it's then going, well, I need to get on the local groups on Facebook because they're more regional and they tend to be more community focused. Maybe that's the one. Yeah. But again, it's just, it's such a juggling act to kind of get that all right, and you have to try everything first because one of them might work that you didn't know was going to work, and vice versa. And it's so like it's a minefield.
That really is horrendous. A minefield, yeah. So that's been one of them, and it's the self belief and the confidence has been a big thing for me. So why would anybody come to me as a personal trainer? I don't have big muscles, or why does anyone? Why me? Like, why would anybody choose me? I doubt myself a lot. The breathwork's made me understand like why I do that, where that's come from, and having the right people around you to make you see a bit of sense sometimes. If Darren ever, like my partner, if he ever gets around to listening to this, he's going, yes, I have to make you see sense on a regular basis, Gemma. But I will procrastinate about doing anything because I will be terrified that everyone's going to judge, everyone's going to laugh, everyone's going to, oh my gosh, going to be the laughing stock. And he's like, Gemma, you're great at this sort of thing. Just go and do it. Just do it. Just do it. Like even the walk. So I run a weekly walk in Whichford. The Whichford Walk and Talk. Imaginative, that creative title. But I'd moved to the village from Cornwall, and so I don't know anyone. Didn't know a single soul. And how do you meet people? Like, it's really awkward, isn't it? Yeah, I've got a baby. Gosh. I can't, just go and sit in the pub and chat to people there. Like, how do you do it as a grown up and as a parent? It's strange. And a lovely friend of mine messaged to say, "You're not going to believe what I've done. I've been on a walk." And I've met people, and I was like, wow, that's out of her comfort zone. That's incredible. I thought, gosh, if only there was something like that, maybe I'd be brave enough to go on a walk and meet people. I said, I wish there was something like that in the area. Darren just looked at me, eyeballed me, when you know the look. You know you're going to do it. Just start one. And I was like, can't do that. What if no one comes? And in comes the doubts and the what ifs and the what if it all goes wrong. But what if it doesn't, we are about to come up to our 100th walk. Wow. So thank goodness.
I feel like we need a celebratory thing for that. Is there a celebratory?
Oh my gosh, you're pressing the buttons.
Look. Hey.
That's hilarious. Ta-da! Taking a bow. Taking a bow. But that's a big community effort. I've not been able to run that throughout the winter. I've got more stuff going on, a little one to juggle. So I'm not there every week anymore, which I was when we first started it. But there's amazing people in the village that they take over. And they'll just say, right, I can run it this week. I'm going to be there. It's amazing.
I think that's the great thing about kind of the community aspect is that you say you can just step away and it doesn't then fall flat at that point. It's not like, well, Gemma's not there, so we're not going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's people, like you said, people willing to step in and do that. Because again, that must surely make you feel really good that that's an event that you set up, and the fact that people want to do it that badly that when you're not there, they'll still do it.
Absolutely.
That's how successful it's been. So.
That's how much it helps people, When a lot of people work from home, and this is, again, why I've been so supportive of you and here and Ely Work Collective, because I think it's so important. Working from home can be mentally draining. You don't have that separation work-life balance. Exactly. They blur. So in COVID, when I first worked from home, I was sent home because I was pregnant and they were terrified anything was going to happen. So I was booted out of the office. I thought I was being sacked. So this is what I did alongside my PT. But when I wanted to start a family, I would go and get a proper job again, So I was working in an office in a healthcare company. And they thought they were going to sack me. They didn't. They were just trying to protect me and they sent me home. But working from home, am I at work or am I at home? I don't know what hat I'm wearing here. Yeah. So I used to have to get my shoes on at the end of the day, take my slippers off, my big fat swollen pregnant feet, put my shoes on, and I would walk home from work. So I'd walk out of the house, go for a walk, and get home, because otherwise I needed to physically separate them somehow.
Yeah.
And I think we don't see people unless it's on a screen. We don't have that real life conversation, and being around people. It's such an important thing. That's why I'm all about community, and I thrive around other people. Yeah. Terrible on my own. Yeah. Useless.
I know that.
I'm useless on my own.
Very similar.
I both love and hate being on my own.
Yes.
For that exact reason. I love the quiet. I love the fact I can do what I like, but I hate the fact that I've got no one to talk to, no one to kind of interact with, or even just be in the presence of somebody else. I found that when I worked on my own or lived on my own for a while, that I could literally go days without talking to another human being. And it wasn't until I then go, oh my gosh, I haven't talked to someone for 3 days. It feels really weird, like in a kind of a verbal sense. And I found the only person that I did talk to was a small furry dog. And she knew everything about me because she sat next to me and I talked to her and told her how my life was going, because I didn't talk to anybody else because I was living by myself in a little 1-bedroom bungalow in a village. So what do you do? And that's where these things are great.
And that's exactly it, isn't it? That's where things like walks come in, because you've got all the magic ingredients there. You've got human interaction, because we should live in packs, we're not solo people. Outdoors.
Yeah, fresh air.
Yeah. Fresh air.
Makes a world of difference, especially here. Yeah.
Conversation. You've just got all the winning combinations, especially if the sun's out. That's even better. But if it's not,
Yeah. Is it
still get up and go.
Along that similar vein, is there anything else you do just personally, or you recommend to clients or folks that come along to the breathwork that help get them sort of deal with things that they've got going on in their lives? Any sort of tips from that kind of side?
Take it back to basics. So for me, I talk a lot about, and this is where I've done like habit coaching, and I used to run a program called Chapter 21 where we spend 21 days working on just the basics, because people often ask, what should I be eating? What exercise should I do? How many reps? How many sets of which movement? What's the best movement to do? What's the best exercise? And I'm talking specifically, shall I use this dumbbell or shall I use this kettlebell or this bar? Doesn't really matter. Just move it. Just pick it up. Just do something with it. Yeah. And we try and master perfection when we haven't even, we've not even got the basics down. So let's start with get some movement in every single day. Like, this is why these watches are great, because it will make you compete against yourself on steps, that sort of thing. Get some movement in. It's magical. It helps everything move. It stops things getting stuck. That's emotions as well as like stiffening up. We hold everything in our bodies. Food-wise, eat a whole food diet. If it's quacked once or made a noise or mooed or something, grown in the ground, if it's, just eat it. If it's natural, eat it. If you like it, eat it. People say to me, what should I have for breakfast? I'm like, I don't know. What do you like? I don't know what you're going to have. I mean, I'm not going to recommend a bowl of sugary cereal every day, but guess what I had this morning? Chocolate. I did have chocolate cereal because I was in a rush. And I was eating with my child, and sometimes, it was delicious.
Yeah,
it was great.
Yeah,
Darren looked at me and said, "There's some eggs there," and I was like, "Yeah, I know."
I know they were, but I'm not going to have those today.
But, it doesn't need to be perfect, but it's getting the basics right. And hydration. Here I am, sat with my. Should I plug that? Optimize is what I have on a daily basis. And just recently, I've fallen out of all of my habits. Life stresses, a few of them, big curveballs all at once, right? And all of my habits have fallen. And I didn't even notice. Like we were saying earlier about awareness, I didn't notice. And everything was getting on top of me. My body was hurting, aching, bad sleep, like headaches. And it's all of my habits have gone. My steps are lower. I haven't been doing any exercise. I've been eating beige, fast, foody type, stuff.
What's convenient.
What's quick. I mean, you can do healthy and quick, but I was being really lazy and just going beige and quick.
There's a whole other conversation around that.
There is.
The way the world is, affordability and all these kind of things.
Oh,
I could be here for hours.
And quick fixes,
about that.
That's another one. That's a whole other podcast. But so I have this optimize with 2 I's, which has got my electrolytes in, and that's made such a difference. So it's got electrolytes, vitamins, creatine, because everyone's banging on about that, and collagen, everyone's talking about that as well. It's got everything in one Use code Gemma for a 10% discount.
Oh, there we go, guys. To be fair, I will
we'll
this
pop a link in
afternoon,
the video
because we were literally been talking about exactly that. So we're the same here. Is,
Yeah.
and also being in an office now, ball back to that.
Yeah.
You'd think actually that's great, hydration. You have your water there.
Yeah.
You're fine. But how often do you get to the end? We get to the end of the day, and I'm like,
Oh, I've
gosh,
even
I've had,
touched that.
I've had
I've had
that
5
tiny
coffees,
amount.
but half a glass
Yeah.
of water.
Yeah, but
and
that's
I've got a
exactly
headache at the
it.
back. So
It's
again,
such a back to basics.
Yeah.
Honestly, the hydration is probably one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
Sleep, big one. So manage your basics. Don't overcomplicate it. Make it simple.
Yeah.
What exercise should you do? The one that you enjoy and the one that you're going to do on repeat, like consistently.
Yeah.
And people, what was that? It's somewhere on my story now. I think it's literally on my story now. I saw this quote and I thought, that's great, that. Consistency looks like nothing is happening until everything changes.
Mm.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's so true.
That's a quote of the podcast.
There we go. It's not mine.
I love that.
I can't remember
I
whose
love
it is.
that.
Look on my story.
We'll quote. That's that. But it's so true, though, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. It's all those little things that happen.
Yeah, we want
just
quick
happen.
fixes for everything these days. Everything's a quick fix. I mean,
Everything.
you know, I'm just trying to
Literally.
think of something silly that's really obvious. Oh, I need some Post-it notes. All right, I'll just pick up my phone that's in my pocket on me now. I don't even need to stand up. Certainly don't need to walk to a shop anywhere or do anything. I'm just going to order it and someone's going to drop it on my doorstep tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
There's not a Post-it note in sight. I don't know where that came from.
I know now, like, where is it?
Do we need some
Got some
Post-its?
in the cupboard.
So just taking a huge sidestep here.
Oh.
You mentioned a few times how you obviously worked in Cornwall for a long time and then you moved to Witchford without knowing anybody and everything else. Two-part really. What brought you to Ely or the area, and how have you found the community side of Ely supporting both what you do as a personal trainer and the breathwork things, and kind of what you've seen as an experience of that as well, and also coming on to your events that we're going to talk about in a moment.
Oh, yeah. So my family had moved. I grew up in Willingham.
Oh, okay.
So I was a Willingham girl until I was 19, and then I moved down to Cornwall with a boy, as you do. There were 4 of us that went down. 2 of them are still there. 2 of us have come back. But I've only just recently come back. I was there about 18 years. So COVID kind of forced the move, and we wanted to be closer to family with my little one, Albie. So we were moving back to be closer to my mum. I didn't want to go back to Willingham because I felt like that was a backward step. It's not.
Yeah.
Also, I couldn't afford Willingham. But I was just looking for anywhere, really. And it was the strange time of trying to buy. We were outbid left, right and centre on absolutely every house. We were bidding on stuff we didn't even like, but we needed to get back on the ladder. Otherwise, it was going to be a complete waste. And we wanted to settle. We've got a 1-year-old baby. We want to get settled so that when he's ready for school, all of that.
Yeah.
And I needed to take my dog, Colin.
Is that your dog's name?
French bulldog called Colin.
That's amazing.
He is amazing.
Colin.
We needed to take him to the vets. So the one that they told us to go to was in Witchford. So I was driving through Witchford and I thought, oh, this just feels nice.
Yeah.
Don't know why. Couldn't tell you. Felt nice.
Yeah.
So I rang my partner and said, I'm in a place called Witchford. Feels really nice. Don't know anything else about it, but it feels lovely. So he then went to go and, I don't know, for whatever reason, we were going again the next day, pick the dog up or pick up some medicine, whatever it was. He then drove through the village and said, I agree. Don't know why, but it's nice, isn't it? I said, yeah, it feels good.
Thing about the feeling.
It's nice and
And
simple,
that was
isn't
it.
it?
There wasn't really any reason for it, and we hadn't had that anywhere else. And I had really lovely memories of Ely. So one of our next door neighbours had moved from Willingham to Ely, so we used to come and visit them. And there was like a parade where all the brownies and guides and all the scouts and everyone would come together, and they'd all be on the back of a tractor before health and safety. We'd all throw money at them.
Yeah.
Remember that? Literally throw your coins.
Yeah.
And I'd go around with my little bag. I'd throw out all my 2p's that I'd been given, and then I'd go around collecting up all the pound coins, and I'd go home rich. And I'd had a lovely day. And I just remember Ely being this really lovely, beautiful place with this huge, gorgeous cathedral, the place where I lost my helium balloon after being told 10 times don't let go. Of course, what did I do? Let go.
Wonder where you're going with
But
I
this.
must admit I did. Yeah.
everyone's been there. You can relate to that.
Yeah,
can't you?
absolutely.
But yeah, Ely just had this nice, I have memories of it, and I feel like I've forgotten a lot of my childhood.
Yeah.
So when I've got memories, you go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, the village feels great. It's part, it's just
Yeah.
outside Ely. This feels nice. It's close to family, but not on the doorstep. I love you, Mum, but I don't want you next door. But it is just the perfect distance from friends and family. So I can get back to my old school friends within a 20-minute drive instead of a 6.5 hour journey. But somewhere that we can start afresh. So it just, that's why. And how have I felt about it? I love it. It does feel like a really nice community. I grew up in a village. That was the only sort of thing in Truro where we lived. It was a small city, and it wasn't as easy to bump into people. Ely's a nice size. You're likely to bump into someone to say hi, but you're not like walking down the street where everyone knows everyone's business, and it's that kind of nice. It's not too big, not too small. And everyone's been really supportive. The breathwork started in February last year, so I'm just over a year in, and it's grown because of word of mouth, because of people's support, because people talk about it and they want to help. It's lovely. It's just a great community. And it's been the same with everything that I've done with the walk, people being supportive and helping out with that rather than it having to be something that I've got to do, then it becomes a chore. And I love this place. I love the cathedral. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful place to live. It just feels nice. It's the feel of it, isn't it? Everything's about feelings for me. Hence eMotion.
Absolutely. It sounds so ridiculous, and that only occurred to me as you were talking earlier on about the emotion element. And I was like, oh gosh, of course, that's why she's
it's all about the emotions and the physical movement, the motions, and being overall fit. Amazing. I used to be live active, but everyone thought it was live active, and that used to drive me insane. So I had to do that.
No, that's much better. Much better. So coming on to then sort of more present day elements now. So with the new networking event, so it's other sort of side of things. Tell us a little bit about that for people that haven't heard about it.
So networking, although
or shouldn't say networking event, should I? That was as in with like a, I don't know. It's
a dirty word around here.
Well, no, I don't mean that. It sounds terrible. I didn't mean that. I mean as in, just from personal experience, it doesn't feel like a traditional networking event. Is what I mean.
And that's,
really
that's
good
exactly
way.
why I started it. So I was like, how do I talk about breathwork? You need to be able to have a conversation. Putting breathwork in a poster, everything we were talking about earlier. How do I put that in an image? And for people to click book on, I want to give this a try. Like, how do I do that? It's so tricky. The marketing side is really, really difficult. And I thought, I just need to talk to people more. So I need to try this networking malarkey,
Get your face out there and everything.
But that's exactly it. And me and a friend were talking about it. And I said, I don't want to be a network. Word that rhymes with anchor.
Lovely. Well censored there, Gemma.
You can bleep it out later. Oh gosh, it just felt really cringe going to talk about me and what I do. And so I thought, okay, but I need to try it, right? So I will go far. So if I don't like it, I don't have to bump into these people again, hopefully. And if I make a fool of myself again, I don't have to bump into them. So I went to a networking event, and the lady that runs it is lovely. She now does her own one called She Connects. It's great. They were really friendly, and do you know what? People were really interested in breathwork, and they'd go, "Where do you do it, Ely?" "Oh, it's far." I'm like, And then I'd be really interested in their bits. "Where are you?" "Oh, I'm over in St Neots." I'm like, okay, that's a bit far to go for something that needs, So the networking side of things seemed really great. Like the idea of it was really working, but I had chosen somewhere too far away. So when I wanted to find one nearer, there was one that I felt like it was going to be okay, but I couldn't get booked on. It's only small. I am now booked on for next month, actually. And she's coming to mine. She's currently sat in your office.
I was going to say, I have a feeling I know who that is. I'm so excited.
But that's what I like. Like she runs an event, I run an event. We're going to each other's instead of going, ugh, she's the other one.
Exactly.
But I think that's what's great about here is that we've just kind of jumping very quickly back into that is that with Ely as a place to have a business and be a small business, everyone's so supportive of each other. We don't constantly feel like everyone around you is kind of looking over you like, oh, what are they doing that I can also do, or are they treading on our toes and things like that. There's none of that here. Everyone's just like, how can we help?
Yes.
How can we support you? How can we advertise you, and vice versa? It's been amazing.
And that's what community should be, and like collaborations rather than just constant competition and rivalry. you know, you can support each other.
Yeah.
Like, how am I
exactly.
going to learn to be good at breathwork if I don't surround myself with people that do breathwork? And like, how am I going to? Like, it's So it's.
Sorry, digress a bit
perfect.
there.
I've forgotten where we were. Did we digress? Where were we?
You were saying you're both going to each other's.
Yes, yeah. So I wanted to try and do it a bit more locally, and some of them were a bit corporate-y or evenings that I can't go to, and I just thought, oh, I can't find one. I'll do a usual me, and if I can't find it, I'll just do it myself. And I'm a bit obsessed with Willow Grange Farm, as you well know. I just love it in there. Again, it was somewhere I walked in and went, this feels nice. Yeah. This would be great for breathwork. So I've done breathwork there multiple times. And I love their cake.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, gosh.
It's all about balance. When I say take it back to basics, cake.
Yeah.
So I spoke to Clara at Willow Grange and said, do you fancy letting me give this a go? And she was so supportive. Again, it wasn't right, well, how much is it going to be and how many people? It was like, sounds great. Yeah. Bring people in, bring a community, build on that. And she was so supportive of it. We just, let's go for it. And we've done 2 events so far. It's been lovely, really nice, normal people just chatting. So it's different events are going to work for different people. Again, there's no one fix for everybody, but I don't like to feel uncomfortable. I want people to feel comfortable. Going to that sort of thing is terrifying. Like walking in the door, having never met anyone before, and like, oh my gosh, it's horrendous. So I keep my eye on that door for anyone that's walking in that looks a bit nervous, and I'll go and introduce myself so that they don't have to wonder who shall I go and speak to? What do I do? Do I sit down? Do I stand up? Oh God. I try and take that away because that's the bit that I can't stand. I hate it. So try and take those nerves away the minute you walk in the door, make people feel comfortable because I know how that feels. And then just talking in smaller groups so that you don't have to stand up in front of a big group of people. That's often a off-putting for people.
Terrifying.
But also even the one-to-one stuff can be daunting because there's no, they're just staring at you and you've got to. So small groups is nice because it's more of a conversation then as opposed to that sort of back and forth transactional. I speak, you speak, I ask a question, you answer it. So it's nice to do it in small groups. And even last week, we were sat, as 3 of us sat, just chatting, networking. And somebody asked the other person a question. I thought, that's a great question. I would never have thought of that. But it then gave me more information on that person's business because somebody else was, thinking differently to me. And it gave me more information. And I thought, wow, that's really interesting. So it's, I like the small group. I basically made it how I would want to, an event that I would want to go to. And hoped other people might like it too, which so far they have. Yeah,
well, I can say personal experience. I came along to your first one.
The first one,
It was, exactly that. I think I did exactly that of walking in the door and, I've been to Willow Grange numerous times, James and I love it. But I still had that moment of walking and going, oh God, well, Gemma's, I can see her, but there's a bunch of people there and and then that awkward thing of you going and trying to introduce yourself. Oh, it's just awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
And straight away you turned around, saw me in the door and were like, hello. And just honestly, like that is it's such a small thing in the grand scheme of things of running an event like that.
But that's
but it makes
isn't it? It's
such
the small
a difference.
things.
It makes such a difference.
It's the little basics, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Wonderful. So you're going to be doing more of those to come. So for folks,
monthly. We're going to do it monthly. Different guest speakers every month. It is for men and women. We've had one man, but when a woman runs things, and there's so many women in this and mums in that, and you see a woman, you think it must be for women. Yeah. It's not. So we're going to push that side of things because do you know what? Men run really cool businesses, and I want to hear about them.
But also, it's difficult as a man. It's difficult to find, like you said, trying to find the one that works for you. That's the important part. And the problem is we've both kind of dipped our toes in many different networking events around here to try and find the ones that work. And it just unfortunately happens to be that a lot of the women-led ones are the ones that really work for this business and for Catherine as well. Whereas the ones that I've gone to, they've been very male dominant, but they're also not my kind of environment.
Yes.
There's when I when I pulled up to one of them, it's 6:30 in the morning. That's
there's your mistake, first of all.
different story. But it was lots of trades and things like that. And
Yeah.
it kind of took me back to my previous lives when I was working for those kind of industries. And it's all very much, you turn up in a suit, you have a really, really bad coffee, you all do the whole stand up, give you 1 minute speech, and then everyone kind of lines up to try and sell you something, or vice versa.
Yeah.
And obviously we're a service-led business here. We're not a product or that kind of thing. So there was, and it sounds horrible, there was no one really in the room that was any benefit to the business or me, but also there was also no one that I could really support either, because what they were doing was very different. But it's really hard to find networking events or events like that aren't like that are on the male side of things. They're all very corporate still.
Yeah.
Most of them either work.
Man must wear suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like
There's anything wrong in that, I would say.
No, but there's roles,
and
some jobs, and if you... Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's it. And when I worked in construction and M&E and companies like that, they were the exact bread and butter. That's exactly, you wanted to give you a little minute speech telling you how great your company is and why you should go to them. And then that was it. It was perfect. It worked really well. But for what we're doing, and for what also I think for what Ely is as well, it needs more of a vary. There needs to be more things like what you're doing with Coffee and Connections. And I think that's something that, I'm trying to go along to it, but the problem is someone else wants to go along to it.
Oh.
And unfortunately, both
rock, paper, scissors, go.
Yeah, pretty much. One of us needs to be here to, keep in control. But I would, I personally
James
will
is going
definitely
to come along to the next one.
Yeah, I'm definitely coming on to the next one.
Excellent. I don't think you've booked on yet.
Yeah, and I think more.
I'll send
more
you the link.
Thank you. It'll be in the link below.
Yeah.
What's the date again? Just.
What is the date? That's a good point. 11th of June.
Okay.
I think.
Well, it's fine. We'll pop it in there. In the details. So I'm very conscious of time because Gemma, we could talk to you all day.
Have we been here a while?
So we're just going to end with a couple of quick fire questions,
Whoa.
which we're notorious for doing quick fire, and then they never actually are quick fire.
They're longer
So
than the main
we'll
thing.
start them.
Yeah.
We'll try and do quick fire.
Okay.
So first one we're going to start with is the classic tea or coffee, which you have to be very mindful of because obviously Ely is full of lots of lovely coffee places.
I start my day with a coffee. However, I've always been a really buy instant coffee until recently discovering how terrible that is. And I'm on a bit of a coffee journey at the moment. So I did listen to your Ben Solston.
I was going to say,
yes,
Ben is
I've
a great
listened.
advocate for
I've
that.
listened.
Yeah.
I've even been telling everybody about Ben's coffee and I've not even tried it yet. I went to school with Ben.
Did you?
Yeah.
What a
God.
small world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they sell it at Willow Grange.
Yes.
And
Well, I should hope so.
and we serve it here.
Yeah.
And what am I drinking now?
That's changed. That's
There you go. I
Ben's
still haven't
coffee.
tried it.
Yeah.
It's very
have
good,
now.
Ben.
That's the Columbia bean
Yeah.
from Change Coffee you have there. And
I
it's
love
proving
this.
very popular for people.
Yeah,
who
it's
really
a very
like
nice
it.
coffee. I have to say.
Radio presenter made that. Didn't
It
he?
wasn't a
This
quick.
is your-
It wasn't a quick
No,
question,
no,
was
exactly.
it? Tea or
But
coffee?
okay, coffee. And
So-
10-minute
out of
conversation
interest,
later.
How a particular type of coffee, as in latte or just white
Usually cappuccino. It depends what kind of coffee it is. If it's a decent, they mentioned this on the podcast. If it's a decent coffee and you don't need sugar, I don't like sugar in my coffee.
Yeah.
But anything that's too bitter. So if it's a bitter coffee, I'll need a bit of oat milk to sweeten it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm experimenting.
Okay, like that.
Yeah.
So next question.
Go.
We talked a lot about the music in your breathwork sessions.
Yes.
And I'm guessing when you're PTing, you also have music playing on there.
Oh yeah, that can be really random.
What is? I get that it's random, but what is the one song that you would try and use across the board? The one that you love the most, the one that you think has the most impact?
Oh, I know exactly which one it
I was
is.
going to say, I think I know from the different
Ooh,
breathwork
I
sessions.
don't-
That
yeah.
There's one that's been in all three, at least two of them. But I'm not sure it's the same one.
Oh, Gemma.
So bicep apricots
Yeah.
is stolen from Josh Connolly. I think all
You're
of
giving
his
him credit here now,
facilitators.
so
Yeah,
it's
well,
okay.
honestly, the community is amazing. And if you want to become a breathwork facilitator, again, I've got a discount code, so contact me. But that song is just, I love it. I'm not bored of it. I could use it on every single session. I don't,
Wow.
but I could. I absolutely love that song. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. It's one that I put on in the car for my own sort of karaoke is my therapy. I often do a lot of
I'm the same.
belting it out in
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah.
Singing is a good way of getting all of my angst out or anything. Yeah, so it's I love that song. I love that song. I don't use it much in the fitness side of things. It depends on the mood, and I often let if it's a class or the group choose. So we might go for a cheesy 60s. It might be I don't know, house playlist. It could be anything. I used to do spin classes and we would do a themed loads of different themes. So rock themes are always my favourite.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Love a bit of rock.
It's interesting. We were having a conversation about that this morning, actually, in the office with some of the members, and we were saying about at some point, because obviously we're the same. So James and I, although I feel like are quite stuck in sort of late 90s, 2000s era, like I feel like I'm kind of stuck there, apart from then some random sort of like, 80s or 60s soul. I love that kind of thing.
Yes.
So it varies depending on what's going on. And we were saying to the guys, maybe once a month, we could do like a request Friday or something where everyone gets like 5 or 10 songs they can pick from, and we kind of just do a queue of
definitely
songs.
Do that,
because it's such a personal thing, isn't
absolutely,
it?
Music is music is absolutely incredible, and it really is individual, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I try to mix the music up, but Bicep. Apricots.
Lovely.
Is my
pop that on.
favourite.
So last couple of questions, and then we are. So what's the most unexpected place you've ever practiced breath work?
Oh, unexpected place.
Makes it sound like you just sort of pull over on the side of the road and do a breathwork session.
Conscious connected breathwork. So the style of breathwork I do. I don't think I've said those words this whole time.
No.
There you go. Conscious connected breathwork. That is probably not anywhere particularly random, because I have to be somewhere I'm going to be able to close my eyes, not get interrupted. So I generally do that at home or at a session.
Yeah.
But like a day-to-day calming breathwork technique if I'm stressed, probably in the school pickup outside the door before I pick the little one up.
I love that.
In a way that no one knows I'm doing it, and I'm doing it to calm.
I love that.
Yeah, that's probably the most strange place. All the mums will be looking at me now. Is she doing it?
Yeah.
Is she doing it?
Trying to figure out.
Assuming all the mums are going to be listening to this, because obviously
I also
tell the world.
I do think we haven't. Well, maybe we can share it somehow in the captions. But it'd be lovely, I think, that one thing like that, just to share a bit of, if folks are outside of the breathwork session like that, a quick sort of 2 minutes or 5 minutes or something, a way that they could kind of do that themselves as well.
So an easy rule to sort of go by: if you need to calm, in through your nose and an extended exhale.
Okay.
And if you need energy, the other way, so a deep long inhale to give you the energy and a shorter exhale.
Fabulous. Okay, there we go.
I bet you know more about breath. I'm gonna have to do our little trick here. Darren showed me this recently and thought it was amazing that he was teaching me something new. He was just gutted when I was like, yeah, I know that one. But do you know you can control the temperature of your breath?
No.
Absolutely not.
100%. And you know you can. So if you've got hot food on your fork, what
do
you do to
the
cool
shape
it
of
down?
your mouth.
Blow it down.
Yeah, so you'll cool it down, won't you? So pierce your lips and blow, and you'll cool your hot food down.
Yeah.
But if it's a really cold day and you're outside and your hands are cold, how do you warm your hands up?
Yeah, you blow on your... Oh, God.
Well, there's a microphone.
Clearly hit the mic as well.
And you would huff on your hands, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And so you can cool and heat.
Sure, I've never thought of it that way.
No.
I feel like that. If
we know
we could
so
use
much
the emoji
about the
for
breath.
Exploding mind. That's me right now.
Yeah, but we do
Whatever.
know so much about the breath that we don't even realise we do. Like if a child's crying, you'll come on, take a deep breath, calm down. So we teach it without even realising we're teaching it. The paper bag trick.
Yeah.
That's all about the breath work. So everybody knows about the paper bag trick to calm down.
Go.
And if I were to, I'm not going to do this either, but if I were to just suddenly scream and make you both jump, you would naturally gasp in through your mouth. A short, sharp, just shallow breath in through your mouth. So calming is in through your nose. So it would send signals to your brain. So it's not just woo-woo. There is science behind it. It's your mood and your emotions can affect your breath, but we have conscious control over our breath, so we can reverse that cycle, and that's how you can get such impact from it in a short snippet.
Oh my goodness! Wow.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you
for this time. It's
both.
Yeah, we really, really appreciate you coming in, and it's been brilliant. I hope it's really informative for those that are on the fence about these kind of things, but also lets them know about your events. We've also got obviously our separate event that we're holding here with you in June.
Coffee and co-working.
Yeah. But all of this information will be in the description to everything here. But again, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
A very last, just before we finish.
My
well, no, just for anybody that doesn't know where to find you.
Yes.
Where obviously we'll link it in here, but where's the best place to?
So my website is www.emotionfit.co.uk. I'm on Instagram and Facebook, both under Emotion Fit. I'm also on LinkedIn. I do corporate as well. So yeah, it's the website is the easiest one to describe here, but we can pop all the links on there. So quite active on socials these days. Trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are. It's
You
good.
are very good. Yeah.
Lovely. Okay. Perfect. But yeah, so anybody go along and find out.
Yeah, come and give it a try.
Session.
If you're even a little bit intrigued, see if it's for you. I'll never force you to come back.
You'll probably
just
bump into
want
one
to.
of us there as well.
Yeah.
So,
Yes,
yeah.
absolutely.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Gemma.
Thank you.
Bye.